Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Elizibar, and this is Wall Might, first term part 2, or the second part of My Hero Academia. Uh, this book is, if you've read the first one, you already know what this book's about. If you haven't read the first one, I will just be straight up honest. This book is a blatant, completely obvious lampooning from the right side of the aisle to the left. Whereas most media, most comic books, go boom from the left to the right. This is like the one that's going the other way. And it's totally upfront about it. It doesn't try to hide it. It doesn't need to hide it. It's an over-the-top parody. Now on the cover, we got Wall Might, got the little hero dude, whose name I'm blanking on. Got an Iceman ripoff, Squirrel Girl ripoff, Marvel ripoff, Brett Kavanaugh drinking a beer. Okay, I mean, he does still like beers. So why not? Why not? We open up to basically the setup of the story of the book, which also kind of explains the setup of the whole universe. So in addition to the power of E pluribus unum, which I probably mispronounced because I don't speak Latin, which powers Wall Might, it's like the power of America, there's also the Winfinity states. There's apparently 50 of them in total, i.e. they're the states of America. We got to talk about some damage to my book here in a second. But there are 6 that are the most powerful. Wisconsin, Ohio, North Carolina, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Florida. These are the swing states. And there's some hoot stuff over here, man. You got Teddy Roosevelt, looking like Mike Hagar from Final Fight. Great reference. Up here you got Abe Lincoln shot in the head, still taking out his assassin. It's awesome. Ronald Reagan busting through the wall. It's a hoot. Now we join our heroes in Pennsylvania at the Liberty Bell when they're attacked by some villains. Now these villains are obvious caricatures of Marvel characters. America Chavez, Ironheart. There's a third one. Oh, right here. That's like Kamala Khan. Heck, they come right out and tell you that right up here. And of course, you got Might Fence with Marlon Bundo. They do some electric stuff. And this book is like that. This whole thing about it. You have an over-the-top caricature on both sides. Like, the way the heroes are portrayed is absolutely ridiculous. The way the villains are portrayed, absolutely ridiculous. The villains obviously lose because they're the villains and you're supposed to lose. But they're questing to get all the Winfinity Stones so that the bad guys, the Shadow Government, doesn't get them. So now, what's the Shadow Government up to? Well, they've got an Illuminati base that looks like the Legion of Doom. Got a bunch of shadowy figures. Got Burning Sanders. Everything about this, like I told you, is completely over the top. He tells them about his plan. He's going to blue pill everybody, and how he's already taken over some heroes. And what's the blue pill? We might as well show that. Hollywood is basically all of pop culture, except for this book. So there's some blue-pilled heroes. They show up to wreck things. There's only one panel I really want to show from that, and it's the one where the Squirrel Girl knockoff. I love the science. If you've watched a single video by your boy Zach, whether under Comics Matter or Diversity in Comics, whatever name you like, you'll know just how often Marvel goes, I love the science. They'll have female characters. They will love the science. The writers don't know any science. The characters don't know any science. And no actual science occurs anywhere in the story, but they love the science. It's very common. The Miss Marvel storyline, The Unstoppable Wasp, Squirrel Girl, all those books have I love the science as their core premise because they're trying to force things on people instead of just letting people choose for themselves. And it doesn't work. It falls absolutely flat because the characters are not actually interested in the science. If they really were, they'd show them doing some actual science. You want to see some actual science? Hold on, let me grab a notebook. Here, I got a piece of paper right here. All right, great. This is a piece of scratch paper. You can see my Office Max notepad. I'm actually out of paper. Here's some science. I'm doing the science. Oh, I should make those arrows, actually, shouldn't I? Yeah. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I just did some science. You know what they never do? Science. They'll show them, they'll be like, oh, here's my machine. and that'll be about as far as it goes. Or they'll just self-affirm each other. And so that gets referenced. Everything gets referenced. Dude, look at his hair, though. Isn't that amazing? I want to mock that so bad, but I don't think I can. It's just crazy. He's totally got a snow cone head with a straw sticking out of it. Like, what? Anyway, they fix up the heroes and turn them back into their normal selves. So she goes from being like an angry beaver to like, what? She stops being a man. I mean, hey, you know, whatever gender you want to identify as, right? You can transition back and forth. You shouldn't let other people define who you are. That's a core tenet of reality. Burning Sanders attacks, of course. I'm not going to show you that page because I've already showed too many pages as it is, I think. But I still got to show off Brett Kavanaugh. So let me lead up to this. So the heroes that were defeated are about to jump in. Take 5, folks. This is Walmart talking. Take 5, folks. You need time to recover. Believe me, besides, what this so-called warrior for social justice needs is a little taste of supreme justice. Ready to see it? Ready to see it? Brett Kavanaugh, hulking out. I like beer! It's so stupid, I love it. And that kind of describes basically the whole book. Naturally, you know, the heroes triumph. Or do they? Ooh. There's a backup story about the 2016 election. I'm not going to show you any of that. It's a hoot. And then there's an epilogue, little one-pager, here to introduce the next product, or the next project. Products are projects. And it's got a little boop, spot from Wanpool. You know, if you haven't read Wanpool, you really should. Juan, over here. Carly, I didn't recognize you. Why the red hair? Is that a different costume? I'm a natural redhead. My hair only turns blonde when I transform. Why does it turn blonde? Because lightning is yellow. Lightning's not yellow. Well, lightning could be yellow. It depends on what medium it is, because lightning is like a fluorescence of the gas. That's really picking some nits here, and I don't want to do that. This book, I don't think I've done a good job of showing off the humor, but I have a very peculiar sense of humor, and I don't know how to explain it. But the book takes everybody, dials reality up to not even 11. It goes straight to like 12 for how they're portrayed. And the mockery just ensues. Now, the downside of all this, my book is crinked. It came like this. Can you see it? I think you should be able to see that, like in the reflections. The front's got it. I just discovered at the start of this review, like the inside front. Like, this page is totally crinked. Then the back cover has a little crink. I didn't even see that at first until I was looking later. Oh, this book's so glossy, it's hard to see. Oh, there it is. You can see the ripple. That I didn't notice it the first time I read it. Like, I read this book, and I got done, and I put it down, and that's when I noticed this. Was after I read it, because I was so like ready to read it. I was like, hype, 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 hype. And the hype was justified. I had a ton of fun. There's also like a little dimple in the paper right here, and I think this was done like when they packed it, somebody picked it up like this, with their thumb right here, and it broke the spine. It sucks. Absolutely sucks. Anyway, you all have a great day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I think this is a book you're either going to love or you're going to hate. And I think for a lot of people, their enjoyment of it depends entirely on their political stances at the moment, because very few people can step back and enjoy humor that lampoons things they love, you know? Y'all, human beings, when you fall in love with something, you'll defend it. That's a great place to be for any kind of brand, and in modern politics, that's been taken to the pathological extreme. So I think you're either going to love this book or you're going to hate this book. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was a hoot. But then again, I also thought like the other Trump parody books that Antarctic Press, which are not so favorable to Trump, were a hoot. So whatever that says about me, I don't know. You all have a great day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.